because we're monogamous. We're definitely not just like open, but I am allowed women, which is a very weird thing.
So yeah,
because people just realize you're in a relationship, and then do you like amend that? And then also I have conflicting feelings around that with regard to him, because on the one hand I think that that's a little bit misogynistic, because it's like, okay, you're underestimating women, you're not worried about them. But on the other, I'm like, or is it the exact opposite? You respect women so much that you know you can't compete, so you're like, I'm carving out this clause.
I have to tell you, you are so not alone in this struggle. Like, I know at least 43 girls that have come to me with this exact problem. Today we have an amazing guest. I'm gonna cry.
Oh my God, really?
No. Really? No. I'm just so happy to have her here. It's Avital Ash.
Yay! That's me. It's really nice to be on a Jew podcast where someone can say my name right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Avital Ash.
Avital Ash.
Avital Ash. Avital is such an amazing comedian, writer, performer, actress, star. She has an amazing
star.
She has a one-woman show at Fringe, and it's going to be in Edinburgh in the fall. And me and Antonia saw it, and it was amazing.
Great. It's so nice for you guys to come. Great. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thanks.
And we've just been like schmoozing, and we just can't stop schmoozing.
It's too fun.
We've already cried.
It's true. We've already cried before we even started rolling. Antonia, bring those tears back.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll cry on camera.
We need it for
I'm making my own.
That's actor in jokes.
We already have in jokes.
We do. We really have gone fast.
Avital, do you want to introduce yourself? Anything more than I...
Your intro was so lovely. Yeah. Right? I'm trying to remember if there's anything you left out, but I think you said it all.
No, I know there are things. You've been on Barry.
That's
true. Oh my God, yeah, I didn't even give your credit.
World famous actress.
Yeah. World famous.
You have a huge social media following.
Barry on HBO.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Barry on HBO. Thank you for clarifying.
Do you know Bill Hader? Is he nice?
I don't. Unfortunately, I never got to work with him. Alec Berg, who's amazing, directed the episodes that I did, and I did not see Bill. But I've heard great things. Makeup and hair are amazing, and I was hearing stories about how he does these emotional sort of heavy moments, and then it's just like right back to joking, compared to all the method acting stories you hear of people taking it too seriously.
I feel like the hair and makeup people on sets are the best yentas
They are
in the world.
Yes,
they are.
Every story I hear
comes
from someone else,
it
comes from hair. Because they're listening to everything, they see everything that's going on, and they're talking to the stars as they're like getting the gossip. I would be great at that. Not the hair part, just the yenta part.
I love that for you. That's like you're doing a job you're thoroughly unequipped for, except for like the side parts.
Oh, just the gossip. Sometimes I have like a gossip tingling. Do you ever have?
Oh
that?
my God, yes.
Oh
my God, yes.
Like when someone
maybe this is it. I'm like, I need more. What do you mean? But maybe that's exactly it.
There's like a tingle, like, oh, I know there's more to this story. Like, how do I get it out of
that?
But
like a tickle.
It's
almost.
like it's just like a spidey tingle.
Yeah, like when
Yenta
someone
tingle.
says something like, yeah, but that's just my mom. I'm like,
what do you mean?
What do you mean that's just your mom?
Go
What's
on.
the backstory? What's her childhood trauma?
Say more right now.
Yeah, mine is like, I just saw my ex the other day. I'm like,
how was that?
Have you ever hear someone say something like really horrible, like they're sharing some trauma, and you're just like, yeah, share it.
Have you seen, there's a TikTok clip. I mean, I'm sure it's a longer, but I've seen it on TikTok where it's, what is his name? It's maybe Sam Mendes, where someone's like, they're like, and you do a lot of work with like anxiety and depression, whatever. And I'm very depressed. He's like, oh, great. That's great. Or whatever. Like, I'm doing a bad job of this. You have to see it. But he's trying to say it's good to be, whatever depression awareness. But she's like, I'm really depressed. Like, wonderful. That's so great. It feels like it's that where he's like, It's not even the same. I tried to make it the same and it wasn't. I'm going to go.
Amazing.
No, that was really worthwhile.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
so glad you shared it. Are you depressed?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was exactly it. You did a really good, seamless recreation.
Thanks. I made it my own.
Full circle, folks.
Wait, can we talk about Avital's show now?
Yeah.
Or did you have things?
Let's talk about Avital's. Yeah, perfect. Let's talk about Avital. I was gonna talk about Avital's growing up Orthodox, but we can also talk about that through the lens of the show.
I did grow up Orthodox.
Yes,
like
we
you.
both grew
And
up
you
Orthodox.
did not. No. Ha, get out.
None of
You're
that
so
trauma
welcome
for
here.
you. You just have other trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chronic illness.
I have just trauma from being like, no one cares about this enough. Like, I wish there were more rules.
Yeah. I wish I were held down and forced to follow a bunch of rules that someone made up
She
for
does
me.
say that. It's crazy.
All the
Well, we all
time.
kind of want that in some ways. No?
No.
Structure.
No. Well, yeah. I actually quote your joke a lot about Reform Jews.
Which one?
How they're like, I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like Orthodox Jews, like everyone has to be Orthodox. So it's just like everyone's there, but Reform Jews, the only people who are Jewish are the ones who want to be Jewish. You do it.
Yeah.
You do it. I fucked it up.
No, but that's
Basically, they're
basically
more annoying.
it's like in Orthodox Judaism, you know who goes to shul?
Oh yeah.
Everyone.
Right.
They have to go to shul.
Yeah.
In Reform Judaism, do you know who goes to shul?
The people that want to.
People that like going to shul.
So you get like the worst of them.
Yeah, like
she's
they're
like
the freaks.
mandate
Like, no one
shul.
should like that.
That's good. I like that.
Okay, let's talk about your show. I mean, Antonia, what did you have a specific question?
Okay, wow. I really came in hot with the topic and then I wasn't prepared with the question.
I have a question.
Okay.
How did you conceive of the idea, and how long did it take you to write an hour? It's a long time.
I wish I had a more succinct answer, but I'll do my best. I did this show, maybe I mentioned this. I did a show on Christmas Eve that was only Jews, so that was really fun. And one of them, Al Lubell, who's this like amazing New York comedian fixture, I want to say he's like pushing 60. He's older than we are. And we were talking about it, and he had done Edinburgh and was telling me that it's amazing. And then I was kind of asking him how he started, and he was like, well, I had a lot of jokes about my name and about my mom, so I just like put together a show around that. So I wanted to do it, and I kind of started toying with jokes I already had and how could I put them together. And then I got talked out of doing Edinburgh last year.
Talked out?
Yeah, one friend was like, you should really work on it for longer and save it till you have something better. But then all that did was push the deadline, which pushed the urgency, and then I just
then you
didn't do it.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So
Is
it's
that
like,
friend like an older white guy? Not older, but like middle-aged white guy?
yeah.
I sat next to him
Wait.
and he was like, I told her.
Oh, no.
Don't
no.
go to Edinburgh.
That's a different, I want to tell you something about that, but
You have to tell us.
Is that your secret?
But that's not who, I think I know who you're talking about.
Great.
That's a different person. This person is an artist and like wonderful, and actually somebody that I thought could maybe even direct the show. I don't have a director. I've just been doing it myself.
Yeah, that's rough.
He's great. I think he just doesn't know how my brain works, which is like, no, I need a looming deadline to get anything done. So it felt like I just wasted time. I think like overall, he's right. You want to go to Edinburgh with like a polished show, or the opposite. You want to go and not like tell anyone and just have all that time to work it out. But if you're promoting it and trying to get people to come, you want it to already be good. So I think he was right. It just like did not work for me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand how much work it would be. And every time, I'd be like, oh, this is close. And then it's like, no, it's not. You have to restructure it. And
then you don't even have that many times to run through it because you literally only have, like, you're lucky that you even have Hollywood Fringe.
yes, I
A lot of
only
people
did
don't have
Hollywood
that.
Fringe
to run it. Yeah.
Which fun news that will be announced Sunday. I got a Best of Broadwater award, so they're going to give me 2 more shows.
Yes.
For free, which
Hell
means I don't have to
yeah.
like pay for the theater, and I can just hopefully keep ticket sales because I broke even on this, which was a big deal, but it's like all like losing money.
You've been
like,
sold out like the last couple shows.
yeah, the
Antonia had
final
to
like
fight
4.
to get
Yeah,
a
I
ticket.
did.
Yeah.
To kill a couple
me.
Jews. It was crazy.
Was it worth it, I hope?
It was so, oh my
Worth
God, it
their
was so worth it. Yeah.
Good.
They were bringing down our people.
Yeah, they were bad Jews.
Maybe let's talk about the themes of the show. So the listeners they're like, what is the show about? What's
All
the title
18
of the
you,
show?
the high listeners. It's called Avital Ash Workshops or Suicide Note. Very easy, light stuff. I say this in the show, but it's like the easiest way to pitch it because I don't want to come up with new jokes. But my birth mom committed suicide when I was a baby, which I know sounds sad, but I was a really bad baby. And this is sort of about that legacy and depression and growing up Orthodox and shame and how all of those things have contributed to wanting to die.
Nice.
Does that make you want to see it?
Sold.
But it's funny, hopefully.
But you know what? Trauma. Yeah. Did you
It's
see
very funny.
It is funny. It's very dark humor, which
Yeah.
I like. I'm so inspired by, and I'm just like, how do you do it?
I do love dark comedy.
It's really.
But a lot of people don't.
I love it. I appreciate it. I just don't do it yet.
Okay.
I haven't really done it, but like, I feel like it would be.
I feel like it's inevitable for you as someone who grew up Orthodox.
I know,
like
but
it's gonna sneak
I
up
have
on you.
like a little innocent like energy.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Deep down, it's very dark.
Yeah. I think it'll just naturally start to come out. Because I
Yeah,
also
we'll
have
see.
some really light jokes.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, for me, the most satisfying thing, and I think I'm like a broken stand-up in this way, like most stand-ups I know, it's all about the energy from the crowd, and as soon as it's over, they can't wait to do it again. And I think for me, the most satisfying part is like finding the joke, especially if it's something that I've been circling for a while. Like there are some jokes about rape and sexual assault, and like finding that has been once there's, I don't know, whatever, it seems weird to just like tell my jokes, but there's one where I say that like rape is about power, not sex, which is why I don't know if I want to do this. Basically, I'd say I would try to ruin it. And one way that I would try to ruin it is that a raper wants to hear like, don't stop. And instead I would be like, don't stop. Or, ooh, have you been working out? Because statistically it's going to be someone I know.
Yes.
Like that to me, the finding that piece of, because the reality of rape is it's usually not some fucking stranger in an alleyway. It's usually someone you know. And so like when I found that piece, which again, to a lot of people is too dark, and men especially don't like to laugh at that joke. But to me, it was really satisfying to be like, okay, like it really, most of that joke was to service that piece. Because to me, that's the most fucked up and also kind of the funniest part, is to be like, you know, ooh, someone's been working out, because it's going to be someone I know, so you can say that to them. Anyway, that's the part that I love. I don't even know. I don't think I'm answering anything. I think I just went somewhere else entirely.
I loved it.
Thank you.
I have a question. So we were like talking about this earlier, but like you had written some of those jokes already,
Yes.
not in the context of this show.
Yes.
And so I went into the show having seen the jokes, but not the context.
Yes.
And it really, I mean, I thought the jokes were great, and then it really elevated them already. And I'm curious how much, like when you went in saying that you were going to write the show for Edinburgh, did you already know the context, that it was going to be about your birth mom, that it was going to be about suicide? Or how many of those jokes did you already have? What was the timeline of the jokes and the context getting put together?
It's a great question, and I don't remember exactly. I do remember I was in a writer's group, and I sent them like the first 10 pages, which are no longer the first 10 pages, and getting back the note that like, I don't know what the show is about or what the spine is. And I was like, yeah, I don't either. So I definitely didn't have the structure of like helping me workshop my suicide note. But I did have some jokes about my birth mom and her suicide, but not all the ones that I have now. So like I would say I had jokes on all of these themes before, but I didn't string them together. And then a lot of the jokes are also new. But I would say I had jokes about growing up religious. I had jokes about the dead mom, and I had some jokes about sexual assault.
That makes sense, because I like, if I did a one-person show, I would also just repurpose the jokes on it.
Right. Well, and also I was imagining it more like, where are these jokes going to go? And obviously, when this becomes a huge hit for Netflix, they'll be somewhere.
Huge.
Which, like, I don't think this is really Netflix fodder, but maybe.
I could see it.
Yeah,
But
I
you
could
want
see
to put them somewhere so
love-
you can leave them alone. Because that's the other thing, is I'm like, I just have them on like TikTok, but you want to be like, all right, they all go here, and then I can retire them and move on to something else.
Yeah.
but I don't know if that's really how it works.
Have you done an hour before
No.
this? Okay.
It's my first time.
Have you done half hours?
Yeah, but not like a structured half hour so much as just half an hour of jokes.
Right.
And like
Right. Not like
varying
those-
it. Yeah, like I never felt like, here's my tight 30. It was kind of like, oh yeah, I can do 30 minutes. I have. You know.
You have enough shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I want to talk about like Avital grew up Orthodox.
Yeah.
And then she went to a JQ.
Yeah. That Raye recommended
Pride
me for.
Shabbat that I did recommend you for.
That was cool.
On my short
You
list.
headlined the Shabbat.
Headlined
You
Queer
headlined
Shabbat.
It was great.
The best show you've ever done.
In my life.
Yeah.
No, I was so nervous. You guys remember because I said it. Well, I was trying to set up my tripod, which like I'm never even going to use that. And then Raye was trying to set up the tripod. And then I was like struggling through. There were these like beautiful, colorful streamers.
Yes.
And then one of them just like got trapped on the around me. So I like went up on the stage with like a red streamer
They're
around
like,
me.
here's Avital Ash. And she's just like, trying to get through the streamer. And you hear like a loud like clang. Like, it was perfect.
It's very
That
on
would have been
brand.
that was like a TV moment, like an entrance fuck up.
Yeah.
I could
yeah.
that you should put that in your show.
Yeah, I don't know
Netflix
where,
would love
but-
that. Just
Oh, like at the
have
top.
them
That's how
say.
I come out.
And then you were like, it's been like years since I've been
Yeah.
in Jewish
Yes.
in a Jewish space.
Setting at all, really.
Yeah.
And definitely, it was my first Pride event, so that was also crazy.
Holy shit, so many new things.
Yeah.
What like why?
Um,
Like what?
And
what-
wait, how long had it been?
great question. Well, I went to Amir's niece's bat mitzvahs.
Right, because you guys are so Jewy, I feel like.
Well, and he grew up Reform or whatever.
Okay.
I always forget the other ones. Not Orthodox, conservative or Reform.
Reconstructionist.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like very culturally Jewish and like his mom would fast on Yom Kippur, but like drink water.
Amir is
you know?
your partner.
Yes.
Also big internet
Also an internet personality.
boy. Yes.
Yes. And also Jew. Very
Also
Jew.
a Jew. Also was like a huge part of my high school
Yeah?
life.
Yeah, same.
Like Jake and Amir.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Really
know.
imprinted on his like style of comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Comedy.
Took a second.
Yeah, I didn't grow up watching them at all.
That's
So
good.
I didn't know.
I think
that would be
couldn't.
weird.
You couldn't date him if
Oh,
you
yeah.
had.
Yeah, maybe. He does love to be like, what's your favorite Jake and Amir sketch? Because I've seen
No.
like 3, so it's just a fun. I mean, to me, he likes to be like, you're a big fan. I'm like, for sure. Yeah, no, I've seen them all. I think there's like 1,000 of them. There's a lot.
There's so many.
So many. But I've been with him to, you know, like nieces, bat mitzvahs. I've been to, you know, weddings where there's a chuppah and they smash
Yeah.
it. But like,
Okay, that's
why
very
would I
Jewy.
go back to temple?
Oh yeah. Oh,
you
never
know,
mind.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Temple's like, and I guess like I've gone to shul for the bat mitzvahs, but again, it's a very different, not that the Pride one was Orthodox. It's not, but like going there voluntarily, I guess is the thing versus where you're like summoned and you have to be there because it's your partner's
Right,
niece.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obligated.
Yeah. And also like, never have I been the entertainment at a shul. Like that's a whole different.
That's
The
whole
Rebbe, if
thing.
you
I
will.
was the Rebbe.
I feel like shul entertainment, Antonia knows this,
Yeah.
is a move. It's such a power move.
Whoa.
Well, because Jews love comedy.
Exactly.
true.
And they all think that they're professionals at
Yeah.
it. So they're
Which was
all
also
sitting
on
there
display.
thinking, I could do this.
Which happened during
Yes.
the show.
Yes,
Like, to be fair,
literally.
she's an entertainer,
Yeah.
but
The drag queen came up during Avital's set.
And just started doing bits.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
fully took your stage
and
time.
what's so funny is Raye, you said something like you're pro, like I'm not, and I felt so unprofessional in that moment because I feel like a real comedian would be like, okay, that's enough. You
Yeah.
sit down, and I sort of just let her like bulldoze me. I was like, yep, this is your stage now.
You literally like asked her one question and she was like, you know what? Why don't I? And just
You know what?
stood
I did
up.
not. I said, who here is still Orthodox? And she said, I'm not. I'm conservative, and then got up. So the
stood
question
up.
wasn't even to her.
No, and as a performer, you know that you're not supposed to respond
yes.
to other performers. At least as a comedian.
Yeah.
You never, you don't do anything when you do crowd work on me.
Right.
That's like the rule.
Right.
Yeah.
You respond, but you don't get up there and be like,
No.
take the mic. But I think I even eventually was like, yeah, just take it. How much time do we have? Are we almost done?
That was rough.
And especially because you were so nice, I was like raised to seeing the truth. I don't know what I'm doing. I like did not know how to get that mic
Well,
back.
I feel like that's something that I really also admire, at least on TikTok clips, which is like everything in stand up, is when like it's always like the douchey guy that can just be like, sit down, I'm talking now.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a different, that's just a
different vibe.
It's such a different vibe.
If I did that,
Actually,
people would turn on me.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
That's not my-
Exactly. But when a guy does it, you're like, oh my God, he's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so,
It's so
real.
different
It's
for
oh my
us.
God, I so feel that because I'm trying to be more of a bitch on stage.
Yeah.
But I can't because
Yeah.
it like just comes off too bitchy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's either way too bitchy or it's not
push
powerful
over.
enough.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking about this with you, Avital, because like your energy on stage is so soft. Like and it's grounded and it's just like I don't know how to describe it other than like it feels really feminine. And I love it. It's,
Thank you.
But it's like then she's saying the most like
and you're saying
disturbing,
the most
depressing
fucked
things.
up shit.
Yeah.
And
I think that
and
works
I'm
so well.
curious about how you got into stand up with this energy because I know like at least I felt for years like I was like I'm not masculine enough to even be allowed in stand up. And you've been doing this for a while? How long have you been doing stand up?
Like 8 years.
Yeah. So how did you get into it?
So I was pitching a show, which actually, quick sidebar, because it relates to what we were talking about, the sort of what men can get away with and what women can't. In this show called Lovable, we were talking about some of the expectations on women, and I got paired with this showrunner who's a man, and this became part of our pitch because it was real, where I said that I would literally be on the phone Googling like how to hang up politely because I would feel so trapped on a phone call. And Brendan was like, I just go bye in the middle of someone's sentence and no one's mad at me, you know, and how different that is. So I was pitching a show and people would laugh. And I feel like this always sounds like a humble brag. I think I told you about this too. And it's not. It's truly like I was not trying to be funny and people would laugh. And sometimes it was a real bummer. Like I auditioned for something, a friend's short that was a thriller. And he was like, oh my God, it was so funny. We're going in a different direction. And I was not trying to be funny at all. So I was kind of gradually being like, okay, I just want basically to be in charge of it a little bit more of when people are laughing. And specifically for pitching TV, like a better sense of, am I being too soft?
No, you're good.
To your point.
I have to, I'm like always thinking.
You gotta check.
Yeah. You're good.
I do have a bad habit of, but I just wanted to be more, like better at having a sense of what was funny about me and why and when to use it to try to sell television. So I took a stand-up class and there was a graduation show. And I remember thinking like, I'm not even going to do the graduation show because I don't want to do stand-up. But then that felt shitty, especially because you bond with all your classmates and we're all doing stand-up for the first time. And people kept just asking me to do shows, which I think for everything else.
I'm so sorry. That must have been so hard.
Well,
Yeah. Oh
it's
my
weird
God, you're
because
such a
asking me to do
demand.
shit.
I wanted so badly to be like,
why is no one asking me to do
they will,
shows?
and they are, but they'll keep asking. I think
No, some
for
people
me,
ask me. I only
yes,
have gays asking me to do shows.
they're great ones to ask.
Hell yeah.
I think like I put so much pressure on myself to be like a great actor and to be a great writer, and so stand up was like not the thing
Right.
that I was putting all this pressure on myself. And I guess that's why people respond to it, because like when you don't give a shit about something, suddenly it comes, and now of course I care more because now there's more stakes. But it,
I want to hear about the shows you were pitching. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, the one show that hello.
Your plant just fell over.
Nice.
That one show was a lot of these same themes. It was like growing up Orthodox, and more specifically in the show that you guys saw, I talk about, I grew up with a mom that's my mom. She raised me. She's not my biological mom. And I think mother-daughter relationships are always complicated anyway, and this just adds a layer. Yes. And so it was
I
kind
want
of...
to do shows just about mother-daughter
Yeah,
relationships.
I want to see it. I want to see 100 shows about.
Have you seen anything like that?
No,
Like,
it's always like father-son.
Gilmore
Yes.
Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that was like such a nice relationship.
Right. It was
Yeah.
none of the complexity.
Yes, I want a Jewish mother relationship.
Yeah.
Is really,
Yeah.
I think, what
Is
I
there?
need.
I can't think of one where it's the centerpiece of the show. I can think of it where it's peripheral.
Right.
Like what?
Right.
Like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend has good
That was
Jewish
yes.
mother content.
Yes.
And,
also peripheral, but yeah.
Yeah.
Also peripheral, the Maisel. But it's not about that.
No, it's not about that.
Yeah. So this show would have been largely about that. It was kind of like a similar situation to me, but if the father dies and then then it really calls into question, what is this relationship and how are we moving on? And it's also like the daughter's left Orthodoxy and all the siblings and everybody else is still in it. And it was about that and dating. And
and then you sold it, right?
I got paid to write the pilot by Super Deluxe, RIP. And then they didn't have, this was an annoying
production
thing too.
Company?
But they weren't a network, so they didn't have a distributor. So then we went with them and pitched to like Hulu and
I see.
and Amazon. But what was very annoying about my manager at the time is we got this offer from Super Deluxe, and usually that's where you go to Hulu and Amazon everywhere else and try to start a bidding war. And instead he'd be like, no, we have an offer, we should just take it. And then we still needed a production company or a distributor to come in. And often what I've been told, which makes sense, is like a distributor is more invested if they're involved from the beginning versus if you're like, here's my finished script, want to put it on television. So I think we did it badly, but yeah.
Interesting. Like
that was how that went.
Like you pitch it before you even write it.
Yes.
And then.
Yeah. Or sometimes people have it written and they pretend they don't.
What?
Because people are more likely to buy it if they want to
like
get their
wrote
fingerprints on it. And yeah.
Wow. So then when you pitched it, you just had some deck with like synopsis, characters, breakdown.
We had a deck, a Bible, and the script, which I think is not the best way to do it.
What's a Bible?
Kind of like where the show will go over a season, or some people have it over multiple seasons, or it's like the bigger picture.
All the TV writer listeners out there, this is insane levels of advice.
Yeah.
This is so helpful for just me.
Yeah.
It's really
Well, and I think some people do, I might be mistaken, but it might have happened with True Detective where he already had the whole season written and they were like, yeah, we'll take it. So there's no hard and fast rule.
Of course.
But I think it's just like psychologically, people want to feel involved and you feel more protective of something that you're involved in. So that's a hot
and then
tip.
you actually want to make it happen. Yeah. I'm going to pretend I don't have my pilot written.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just going to pitch it. Yeah.
But then it's also a weird thing where you're like, you need a sample to show that you can write, but then you want it to be a different sample than the show you're pitching. I haven't pitched a show since then.
Okay.
It was devastating because it's also tons of free work, which, the writers are striking now and it makes sense, but it was like a year of work.
Yeah.
It was more than a year of work. And I got paid to write the pilot, which already is huge and a big deal. And I lived off of that for a while. But
How much did you get paid?
I love that question.
I do too.
I wasn't
because
gonna
it's so
ask.
transparent.
I'm always so curious.
But honestly, now I'm just trying to remember. It might have been like $60,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I don't remember. I feel like it could have been 45. It could have been, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People are like, writers make tons of money, but it's like,
no, they don't.
Yes.
You make it maybe once every 3 years
yeah,
or something.
or sometimes once every 10 or.
Yeah. How do you make the majority of your money?
A weird random mix of things. So like that was a huge piece. I did a web series called 7p10e that you can watch at 7p10e.com.
Hey.
And that got licensed by CBS. So I didn't get to write the pilot, which was unfortunate, but they had somebody that they loved and wanted to work with, and she wrote the pilot, but I got good money in licensing fees. And if the show had gone, I would have been like a consulting producer and just made passive cash on a network sitcom, which would have been the dream, but it didn't happen.
7p10e. What's it about?
It's I was gonna be like nothing. It's so hard not to be just. It's like
It's a show about
it's the most
nothing.
nothing.
It's a show about
It's a
Stupid
rom-com.
piece of
Love
shit.
a rom-com.
Ooh.
It's basically a COVID series pre-COVID. I was leaving to Israel. Oh, this is a whole other story, but basically I made, and we did end up getting to make this. So this was, I have ADHD. My friend Danielle and I wrote this web series about two very like vapid LA girls. And then we shot a pitch pilot for it. And then we pitched it. And I was like, if nobody buys it, I'm going to go volunteer in Israel and do this program and whatever. Which is when my illness started too. So that was not fun. I didn't know that all started in Israel. That's when I was like, fuck God. And I stopped fasting and basically stopped being religious. But
How old were you?
Yeah, when was
26.
that? And wait, how old are you now?
It took a long time.
so late.
Old, 36.
Oh, wow. So
How old are
10
you
years.
guys?
I'm 32.
Okay. And you?
28.
28. Little
Oh my
baby.
God, so fresh face.
I know. I feel like I just
so
turned 30.
old.
Tiny baby.
Oh no, don't, because that makes me extra old.
I know, but now I'm happy because in this
now you're the baby.
second I feel young, but almost all the time
I mean, I
feel
didn't
old.
start comedy
so
till I was older
precocious.
than you.
Really?
I started stand up right before I turned 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started before my 20. 6th birthday.
So you're doing great.
27th.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
No,
Time is flying.
It's
by.
awesome. You're so far ahead of where I was. I literally had not started. But I remember going to Israel and being like, I want to be making something while I'm there because I didn't want to atrophy creatively. And I was like, I could do this Zoom series that's like 2 people falling in love over Zoom, and I'll shoot it while I'm in Israel, which did not
Zoom
work.
existed?
Yes.
No, it wasn't Zoom.
Was it
It was
Skype?
Skype. Yes.
Okay.
Zoom might have existed, but it was Skype.
Zoom did
Yeah.
exist
Good
before
catch.
COVID.
Yeah.
Just fun fact.
I believe it.
Yeah.
But
Of course it
wasn't
did,
sure.
but I was like, did
Nobody
anyone
knew what it
use
was.
it?
Yeah, it was Skype.
Yeah,
It was definitely Skype. And I was like, I'll have the production value because I'll be in Israel. It'll look like an expensive show. It was impossible. I got sick while I was there, but I came back and we shot it actually in the same house, but still over like used screen capture software. So it's literally just like 2 people getting set up on New Year's Day over Zoom, and then I released them in real time. So like the first one came out January 1st. Second, so it was a month of Skype, not Zoom, a month of Skype calls. Between 2 people getting to know each other. So it's like the most simple, nothing premise.
Yeah.
Cute.
But
it
CBS
opened doors.
picked it up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
they
must
did.
have
It went to
been
pilot
good.
twice.
Holy
They did one
shit.
pilot based on it one year, and then it didn't get picked up, and then they did another pilot based on it the following year, and then it still didn't get picked up.
Nice.
And then, but that helped. Then I went back to the other one that nobody bought that I left for Israel. And then suddenly, because of that series, there was interest in the other one. So we sold that to Maker and made good money on that. I think somewhere like you're just going to keep saying $60,000. I don't actually know. And then that never came out, but we did get paid. And that was when I like quit my day job.
Great.
So then that, and then I did like some consulting stuff and just like a weird mix. Little bits of
I feel like you
stand-up.
probably know so many people, and you're so enmeshed in the industry.
I do feel like I know a lot of people, but I also feel like that's never helped.
Oh no!
For some reason. I mean, even with you doing that show, right? For
Yeah.
for like $150. Not that it was like a life-changing amount of money, but it's cash. I'm happy to do it, and like we didn't know each other.
Yes.
Like you recommended me for this job as a stranger.
Yes.
And I think that has happened more than anybody I know
Okay.
helping.
So your advice is Instagram, TikTok, put on reels.
I guess for stand-up, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I
think that's the big thing.
I gotta keep doing that shit. Do you edit your own shit? Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, and you do too, Antonia.
Oh, yeah.
My editor just dumped me, and I'm so devastated.
No.
Because she was so good.
She was great.
Why?
She's
The one who's doing the Yenta
doing
things?
a podcast, a different podcast.
Too busy. Well, how are you making cash to pay your editors? I'm creeping on
I
you
like
with my
it.
foot.
Come on
Okay,
over.
I'll come
Yeah, where
closer
was your?
too.
Yeah, get in here.
let's
What were you doing
Cuddle
for money?
puddle.
How did you pay your editor?
I work. I have a day job as a software engineer.
Whoa, fancy.
I
Does
know.
that mean you're like smart and shit?
Apparently,
Whoa.
people think so, but
What
they're
does that
wrong.
mean if you're a software
I
engineer?
build a
Have you already talked about this a bunch on the podcast?
Yeah, but now I'm sure all these new
New.
listeners that are coming for Avital.
all my huge fans.
Yes,
I'll bring another 18.
Avital. You have
Oh my
so
God, you
many.
have-
But they don't necessarily
many.
translate. I'll
Yeah.
give you. There's a very famous person I will tell you not on the podcast who has.
Whisper it.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Give it to me. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Like whatever.
Oh, maybe
like,
I
It's
see.
funny.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could be related.
I get told I look like this person,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I like it. I think,
Yeah.
thank you. I feel like it's a compliment. I don't know. They have like 30 million followers or whatever. Did a
Whoa.
podcast, but nobody
They're
listened to
huge.
it. Yeah.
You know who they are. You'd see their face and
Wait,
you'd know.
they were on your podcast?
No, they started a podcast.
Oh, and nobody listened to it.
So it is like a weird thing where people like you for whatever they like you for. It doesn't, sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
I
They might
know.
not listen to me on your podcast, even if they like me on Instagram and TikTok.
Nah.
You want
That's
me
the
to
only
go?
reason I got it.
Get out.
I mean, hopefully they do, but
No,
it's
I
not
really
a
don't.
one-to-one.
I really, when I started
Dropping
this,
truth bombs.
no,
here.
thank you. I need it. Really, when I started this, I was just like, I don't care if anyone listens because I just get to meet cool people.
That is really the fun.
I
of
know
it.
that's so.
No, I was
lame.
doing a horror podcast, and A, it was like getting to meet cool people, and B, we just had, it was so fun
It's
to
so
do.
much fun. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I literally, also like no one will get coffee with me, but they will come on a podcast.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
So when you have
Mentality.
something to offer,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because we're all like, I have to be working. I have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
focusing
Busy.
on my career. And then you're like, oh, this is a podcast. Now
like,
I can
yeah,
hang out
we
without
all
feeling
need
guilty.
friendship.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's why I
sad.
started the
You know,
podcast.
we're never even going to release this podcast.
That's
This is
fine.
just, these might microphones aren't even on.
Yeah, that's the only way I make money, through this day job. Like my first career was computer science. I have a master's in computer science, believe it or not.
Wow.
I know, it's insane. And then I was like,
And you have 3 computers pointed at us right now,
yeah,
in a way.
That's how I learned how to produce a podcast, because I was like, I can do anything. Like
My mom wants to listen,
Oh,
which is, I guess, nice.
how is your relationship like with your mom?
Great.
Wow, that's so great. My mom doesn't listen to my stuff.
My mom doesn't
Baruch
either.
Hashem.
I think because of Leia Forster.
Yes, that's
Then
why.
she was like, "Oh, when are you going on that podcast? I want to watch it." So I
That
think
is amazing.
now.
My mom did just tell me that some like very oh my God. It's fine. Some very Orthodox guy was like, "Oh, does your daughter do a podcast, like a Yenta podcast?" And she was very upset. But
she was upset that he knew about it.
Yeah. She was like, "You told me it wasn't gonna impact me."
Really, mother-daughter relationships are so complicated.
I know, but Ima, if you're listening, it's gonna impact you for the better, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
One
This
day.
podcast is groundbreaking.
This
You're doing
podcast-
big things. No, honestly, you're doing big things for the queer Jewish community.
Totally.
How
Those
does
are
your mom around
my
that?
My people.
Is your mom cool with the
She actually, this is amazing. She has been so cool with it recently in a way that she hasn't been in a really long time or ever. But like now when I tell her like, I'm going on a date, like the first thing she'll be is like, "Oh, what's she like?"
And that's fine. She's like, that's totally fine with her.
Huge,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Huge progress, Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
So
Emir Hashem soon by you.
Yes, soon by me. I really am looking for a wife.
Are you?
That is not. I am.
Are you ready?
I am.
to settle
I
down?
say I am, but then I keep getting called out when I go on dates with people of like, "Are you sure? Because you have no time," and you're kind of
And you're
like-
ambitious.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
I'm always just like running around town and
Maybe if you married like your editor. I mean, not
this
one.
one.
Yeah, but like a future editor, because then those things go together. Then she's just
or
like sitting
someone
there.
who's like
Jake?
also doing,
yeah.
also hustling in their
Yes.
own way.
I
Yeah,
needed a very
true.
ambitious from.
But do you think you're like
adjacent.
emotionally available and all that?
I-
Yeah.
I think I am.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Is
That's
that
awesome.
surprising?
I
Do
don't know,
I
I guess
seem
think-
emotionally detached?
I feel like I'm still largely emotionally unavailable, but
With your
especially
partner.
at 28 and, like
How long have you guys been dating?
6 years
Are
and
you married?
change. Engaged.
You're engaged.
Getting married in
Ugh,
October.
mazel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa! How did we not see that on Instagram?
I
I
know.
didn't post it. We haven't talked about it.
Why not?
I don't know. It happened in December. Actually, so this is like a whole other thing, but we were talking about chronic pain
Yenta.
stuff.
Oh.
I had this like doctor's appointment. It was everything's bad. And then he's like, today's been such a special day. And I'm like, no, it hasn't. Like, what? And then I'm like, then I just specifically look like, oh, is he like fishing in his pocket? He is. Okay, this is what he's doing. Because he's not very like effusive, but I was like, wow, he's really cramming it in on a day that actually was sort of stressful and painful. What a great day. I'm like, for you, I guess.
Wait, was this before you got engaged? Or
This was the
after?
proposal.
Oh, okay.
So in December he proposed, but I was like all in the middle of like sort of health crises and about to have surgery for one. So it just like felt like not the, I don't know. I guess it felt like it would be really false to be like, we're engaged, everything's great. Instead it was like, I'm about to have surgery and I feel like shit. And then now it's just been so long that you're like,
now it's too late.
yeah, exactly.
No, but I feel like when you're a celebrity couple like that, like you can do like, oh, it's like our secret engagement, and now we're just releasing it to the world.
And now we're just married all of a sudden,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
I
You
did
can do a slideshow post of like engage and then swipe and then you in the hospital.
Oh, that's good. I did almost do.
That's good.
I
That's
mean, well,
good.
it's
babe.
funny. I think it's funny because I did almost do like a December dump and then just like bury it in there.
Yeah, okay.
So I was thinking similarly.
around the same
Amid
Yeah.
like pictures of your IV.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
feeling like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the surgery?
I have interstitial cystitis, and I thought this
yeah.
would help, and it didn't really. But I had a fibroid the size of a fist.
Oof.
I can show you guys pictures if you want.
Yeah, I do want to see pictures.
Yeah. So the poster for my show, I'm wearing the ring in it, and some people have noticed, but a lot of people don't.
Explain the ring to our listeners.
Really
who are
pretty,
listening.
and it doesn't
Thank
look
you.
like a traditional
It's not.
engagement ring.
Yeah.
It's a moonstone.
Oh.
I just thought it was pretty. That's all. I was expecting Amir's mom to be like, "That's not real. You're not engaged. Those aren't diamonds." Or that's not a diamond. She did not do that, which was great. She did say on the way out, she whispered to me, "We have diamonds," which I thought was a very tactful approach. But yeah, this is like the
She's
most.
like, my son is a schmuck.
Yeah.
He could have gotten you a diamond.
I was thinking
we
like
have them.
like the Holocaust diamond.
Oh, it
and
could
like,
be, but I don't think so. That's a weird one for a wedding, an engagement ring. Holocaust diamond.
A Holocaust.
Will you marry me?
There are so
Time.
many Jews who get off on that,
Oh,
who are like,
true.
this from the Holocaust.
Someone had to shove it in their butt for 3 years.
Exactly.
I want a Holocaust diamond.
Do you?
I would take one.
I guess they're all sort of blood diamonds anyway.
Yeah.
So
Sure. I like to imagine all of my ancestors being like, shoving the diamonds up their butts and being like, this is going to be so funny one day. Like,
When my
this is going to be a bit.
they're going to talk about it on a podcast and they're going to crack up.
They're gonna have my butt diamond, my butt Holocaust diamond
Let me
on
tell
the
you.
ring for the rest of their lives.
It's so beautiful. It is nice and intimate. I don't even know why we started talking about that. The engaged. How did we even get there?
We're talking about mothers.
Oh, being emotionally available and all that too.
yeah,
And-
being emotionally available.
There we go. You're looking to wife up.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. Well, because
That's your face.
it's like, listener, I'm doing the biggest eye roll I've ever
was
done in my
good.
whole life.
It was a
My
great eye
head
roll.
actually hurts from that eye roll.
My head hurts just from imitating the eye roll.
I had a date, tell me that. She's like, you should choose your career over a partner. On a date with her. So she really wasn't probably so into
Saying
me.
that you should do that.
Yeah,
Or
she's
that
like-
she's the perfect partner. Because she would support
also
you.
doesn't have it. Oh,
And-
Because
that's
she's
what-
like,
doing
great,
the
yeah,
career.
choose your career over me.
Yeah, but like I'll still be there.
Yeah.
Or was that
yeah.
not the
So right
vibe?
now, I guess I'm very casually dating.
Yeah.
Even though in my heart of hearts, I would like to be wifed up.
Yeah, you're like
One
ready
day.
to settle down?
Do I have to settle down though, or
Wait,
do I
what
just
does
have like
what
a
does getting
part-
married mean?
Yeah, like I can be
Right, you could be poly.
oh, for sure
You could
that.
do-
Oh,
you
yeah,
would
I would be
definitely-
non-monogamous.
Yeah.
minimum.
At minimum.
At
What's at
minimum.
maximum?
Like 4 poly relationships.
Simultaneously.
Yeah. I think that's my limit.
Yeah.
Some concubines.
Yeah,
That's-
right. I saw that joke. That's a
Sorry
good
to
one. You
quote
do
my
deserve
own joke.
the concubines. I want them for you.
Thank you.
I think for me, I lost out on a lot of material by getting to be pretty monogamous. It's a different kind of material, but I loved the bad dates were always great because you would get a story.
Yes.
And I
But I
miss
feel
that.
like
But
couple
also
stuff
it's
does so
so-
well.
Does
Yeah.
Like
it?
long-term couples, because then you have like
Yeah.
whatever you're fighting about, and that's annoying, and then you can shit
Yeah.
on them. But as long as like they're okay with it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, does he do stand up?
No, but he should.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
I did get him to do it once at the JCC. He
Oh
tried
my
it, and it was
God,
really fun.
So
the
cute.
best place to
yeah,
start.
he said he just sort of like blacked out, like didn't even
How'd you
remember
guys
what
meet?
happened. Somebody tried to set us up, and then actually just on a dating app. But I was like, "Oh, Rosa Salazar tried to set us up," and he was like, "Yeah, I said yes. What did you say?"
Oh.
And because her pitch was like, "I know a nice Jewish boy looking for a nice Jewish girl," and I was like, "Ew, kill me, no, thank you." But then
Totally.
we recognized each other from her trying to make that happen, and then annoyingly she was right. It's like the worst part of it.
Yes. Is she annoying about it? Does she take credit? Because I would totally do that.
You know,
yeah,
we ran
absolutely.
into
Is she
her-
asking like for payment at
She
the
should.
wedding?
No. Neither of us talked to her very much. She just
Oh, now she's not in your lives
no,
anymore.
like,
That's
what-
even worse.
because she was never close with him. She dated Jake.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I think
Too
that's
late.
fine.
I mean, what is this, like 20 years ago now? Sorry, you're not that old.
No, thank you. I'm not. I'm really not.
At least 10. Or,
Yeah.
Or I don't know, whatever. Okay.
Like 7 years.
7.
Whatever. I don't know. What is time? Maybe it is like 10. They had dated. She's not Jewish. So it felt very like, oh, you're Jew. I know a Jew.
yeah,
and
I
I was
see.
like, no thanks.
Okay.
Oh, she's not Jewish.
So she was like,
okay,
what
yeah.
are they, a boy Jew and a girl Jew? They're going to be together. Yeah,
That's what
I
it felt
totally
like.
agree.
I have a gay friend. You're like, no, thank you.
But also,
But also kind of yes.
Okay. So they set you up. Oh, wait, which app?
Raya.
Raya.
But,
Nice.
Raya.
but I think we were both on the other ones too. So I kind of hate
No, just
Raya.
own it. Just own it, Avital. Just
Okay,
own
okay.
Raya is famous enough to be on Raya.
Raya is famous enough.
Raya
My
is
name
famous
is
enough to
Raya.
be on Avital.
That's right. That's a better take. I like that.
We should make an Avital app that's like a Jewish Raya.
Yeah.
And we just call it Avital. I think they have that, but
Jake
I heard
and
it's
Amir
not good.
did actually start a dating app called Orion that I think is like largely Jake and Amir fans meeting each other. I don't know what's going on with it now.
So
but-
It's
Nebby.
still going.
It's very.
I feel like
The name is so serious too. Orion.
Well, they did a
like,
series where there was a dating app in the show, and they
Vertical
so then they
integration.
made, yeah, exactly.
or horizontal integration.
I'm here really to
That's what
plug
it is.
Amir's dating app. That's the real reason I'm
But
here.
also, I feel like all their fans are like high school girls.
No, we were high school girls. And
Because that's
now,
all I know.
like, right, they're not releasing Jake and Amir stuff.
They kind of are.
No?
He has a podcast network now called Headgum. Plug. It's great.
I will. It is smart for you to plug his stuff, actually. 'Cause-
Yeah, is it?
Well, because you share a bank account.
Not yet.
Well, one day you
Maybe
will.
one day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's all the fun stuff that we haven't figured out.
Oh, fun.
That
so
stuff
fun.
does
What-
not seem fun.
Oh, I mean, it's fun if you're both making money and then you get double money.
Then it is. But like just figuring out, do we have a shared bank account? Do we have separate ones? Do we have both? I don't know. He makes more money than I do, so it's more stressful to talk about for me. I'm like, yeah, give me your cash.
Well, I feel like you have more incentive to share the bank account.
Right, but that's why I'm in a
Don't be-
position of
Oh, come on. You're getting married.
Getting married.
You're getting married. You have to share a bank account. I'm very
all right,
traditional
I'll
that
play
way.
this part. Look, unbiased opinion.
That's, yeah.
My friend Raye, without the E, who
Oh.
is a comedian, he's very funny. He's like probably my youngest friend. I feel like he's like 23, and he's
So young.
Jake and Amir. He grew up on Jake and Amir, so I'm like, I don't understand how this
Yeah.
is seemingly spanning all of this time.
Wow. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. It's true, and they do still release videos, so
Okay.
you can see them.
Well, share a bank account first.
Okay,
Share the bank account
okay.
and then go.
Yeah,
watch
you can't
it.
release
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
until I get it all in writing.
Yeah. Do you guys? Yeah. You go.
This could be the secret, but it
Okay.
could, I don't know. But then it's obviously not, whatever. It's the thing that I was thinking about that feels fitting for this podcast. Should I just say it now?
Say it.
I am, because we're monogamous. We're definitely not just like open, but I am allowed women,
Nice.
which is a very weird thing
So yeah.
because people just realize you're in a relationship and then do you like amend that? And then also I have conflicting feelings around that with regard to him. Because on the one hand, I think that that's a little bit misogynistic because it's like, okay, you're underestimating women. You're not worried about them. But on the other, I'm like, or is it the exact opposite? You respect women so much that you know you can't compete. So you're like, I'm carving out this clause.
I have to tell you, you are so not alone in this struggle. Like I know
Yeah.
at least 43 girls that have
That's
come to
such a
me
specific
with
number.
this exact problem, and that's why when I have my pilot that I'm writing that is kind of starts with a hetero couple deciding to be open so that she could be with women. That's like the inciting incident.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like,
And is he allowed?
No.
Okay.
Right, which
Yeah.
I feel like is so common.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like such a unique struggle, but I love it.
Yeah.
So have you tried it?
No,
Are you
because.
on? Oh, and by the way, I also was with a guy for 5 years, and we were open.
And how was that? Open, or
Or
Open
just
with
you
women.
open?
Oh, yeah,
just
well,
you
Yeah,
could-
yeah. Well, technically, he could do things, but he just didn't want to because he was just like lazy. And
Yeah.
he was like, why would I bother?
Yeah.
It's so much work, which
Right.
I totally get.
Yeah.
If you're just
That is the thing. I thought about like getting on the apps, but then I also was like, I don't know. It is a weird thing where then you are opening yourself up to like scrutiny and questions, which I'm definitely not doing right here, right now, for whatever. But
like if people you know or people who know you see you on the app.
But
That's
then if
real.
you're just meeting people, like I don't know, friends are then weird. Like you don't want to do that. So no, I haven't really. But I am going to be in
How
Scotland
long have
for
you
a
been?
month, so-
Oh, get up there! You have to have another line in your show,
Yeah.
to say that you're open
Right.
just with
Don't you
women,
have
so
this
that girls
as a
can come
bit?
hit on you at the end.
Yeah.
Don't you have this as a bit in the show?
No. Well, I don't talk about Amir at all in the show.
No, but the double standards for women.
Yes, that God has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
God
a
is
good
Amir.
moment to tag and be like, by the way, ladies.
That's true.
We
That's
have two jokes with the same premises.
Yeah, what are they?
The one, the Shalo Asani Isha.
Oh, you have a joke about it. Tell me.
I do have a joke about it. The joke is, so for listeners, there's a blessing every day that only men make in Orthodox Judaism that goes, "Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, for not making me a woman." And my bit is like, I used to be offended by it, but now I'm like, man, like, why are you obsessed with me? You know, they're just like, every day, I'm not a woman.
Oh.
I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, there's,
kind of like the woman that you did the lip dub to, where it's like,
yeah.
why are you obsessed with like women eating each other out and fingering each other?
Oh, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
How amazing was that voice note?
You did a great
It
job.
was spectacular,
It
and your
really was.
performance was unbelievable.
A+.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what did you? Were you on the apps and all that? Oh yeah. Wait. And then
yeah,
also the other joke with the same premise.
The
Too
other
many
joke,
threads.
I won't do the whole joke, but the other one with the same premise is, oh man, it's like a Jewy.
Is it Jew? Yeah.
It's a Jewy
Rainbows, God, the
Antonia,
semen
do you know?
stuff.
A joke that you both have.
We have the same premise. It's like Shiloh.
Very different joke, but
I mean, we were just talking about the one
man
about the double standards.
Man lies with another man.
Oh,
What's
about
yours?
about the masturbation, right? Don't you
No,
both
no,
have
no,
that?
no, no.
I have one, but I
You
don't know
have
if
that
do.
one.
Yeah. What's the man can't lie?
It's so the verse says a man can't lie with another man, but there's nothing about women. But I'm like also kind of offended by it because I'm like, why don't you think my sex is good enough to be prohibited?
That's good.
Like, and then in
Like
Israel,
so hot it's forbidden.
yeah, like it should be a sin.
Yeah.
Like I should be in hell for my sex.
That's good.
And in this was the best moment of my life in Jerusalem. I did that bit, and the punchline was, why don't you think my sex is good enough to be an Isser Doraita? Which is so...
Isser forbidden, but what's Doraita from the Torah? No.
Yes, Isser Doraita.
Very nice.
And I could only do that punchline in Jerusalem.
Did people love
They
it?
loved it.
Oh, that's so good. That's so satisfying.
It was amazing. Because in my head, I'm like, the joke is Isser Doraita, but I
Right.
can't...
You can't do
I
that
can't
here.
Do that. Yeah.
I mean, you can, but you'll just... Crickets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
I think we are going to make this a two-parter. Okay, stay tuned next episode for our secrets.
But I need them now, right? Yeah.